And hello again, YouTube. I'm in downtown Phoenix. It's 5:46 p.m. Monday, April 11th, 2022, and just went to the Taco Bell Cantina again, and that was good. Although I'm kind of burning out on it. I never thought I'd say that, but ready for something different and realizing that there's not much else. Oh, by the way, that's a entrance to 188 East Jefferson Street. Apparently those are residential apartments there. While I was checking my phone, I saw two people and a dog. One guy rolling by himself, and then a very attractive woman walking her dog. Both go into that door. So apparently that's a residential entrance. So I'm kind of taking a shortcut through the building. So I guess these are the loading docks for Fry's grocery store. And I get the feeling they don't have much in the way of proper bicycle parking, since I see quite a few bicycles just chained to that ramp there, which I'm assuming goes up to the residences. I always love wandering through little shortcuts like this. In fact, this is the whole reason I decided to roll video. I was walking by and I'm like, I bet that goes all the way through to Washington Street. I should say Jefferson Street. I was on Washington Street, and it totally does. And hey, look at that. There's porta potties in here. It's always good to know where there's public restrooms, because there's a real lack of public restrooms when you're a pedestrian and you're on foot trying to find a place to go potty when you're out. Some kind of an entrance there. I dig the artwork on these gates here, which kind of tells me that that's probably locked up at night, making the porta johns inaccessible. That's the entrance to the parking garage for those who are driving to Fry's, and I've used that before. It's actually pretty nice. It's paid parking, but as long as you're buying something at Fry's, the parking is validated. And there's elevators that take you from inside the Fry's directly to the parking garage. In fact, I got time to kill. I may as well show that. Had to figure out where the button was. Got the little anti-theft devices in there. I can keep my finger out the frame.
You're a fast shopper.
Huh?
You're a fast shopper.
I know what I want.
I'm impressed.
Although there's some times where I get home and I'm like, shit, I should have gotten, you know what I mean? Like, if I just wandered down the aisles and like looked around, I'd be like, oh.
No, fine.
But no, this is great. Just need some vegetables.
This is good.
And then boom, parking garage. And yeah, they validate this, and wow, that is a super random place for a spin scooter. Oh, speaking of scooters, so kind of disappointed in that last video. Apparently I bumped the screen as I was putting the phone in my pocket, and that caused my I love the views from this parking garage. It's pretty cool. The plaza from the Footprint Center, where the Suns play, directly across the street. Pretty awesome. And of course, a giant sea of parking, because after all, we are in Phoenix. And I guess there's where you pay if you're not getting your parking validated. I was going to say something that just completely slipped out my mind. Oh yeah, scooters. So yeah, I didn't get the video of me riding the bird scooter to 50th Street Station, which is kind of disappointing. For one, I was basically talking to myself the entire ride for no reason. That's awesome. And ride went really well. Scooter went really well. Not much else to say. The timing was pretty much perfect. I parked the scooter, ended my ride, took the picture. I gave it a 4-star rating instead of a 5-star rating, and left a comment basically saying that I had 3 different, for 2 different rides, I had 3 different scooters that I was unable to locate that showed they were near me in the app, and each time I had to walk a half mile to get to let's see where this goes. A half mile to get to a scooter that I could rent. So yeah, not cool. Please fix. Yeah, I was totally going into Fry's to buy something, and now I'm just not even feeling it. So much more fun wandering through.
Exiting. Watch for vehicles. Attention.
Cars are exiting. Be careful. Cars are killing machines. All right, I'm by my Chase Bank. Not that I need to use the Chase ATM, but it's interesting to know that comes out right there. That was a fun, complete waste of time there, because I basically came out really close to where I went in by the docks. Oh, and there's what I was getting ready to mention that I didn't get around to mentioning. When I opened the Bird app, first time I've ever seen a bird in downtown Phoenix, when I opened the Bird app, there was actually a notice that popped up saying that Bird was now offering service in downtown Phoenix, which is, for me, as somebody who's been pretty much following the whole electric scooter thing, rental scooter thing since the very beginning, and was a juicer for an extended period of time with Lime. That's very interesting, because when the pilot program first started with scooters in downtown Phoenix, I actually went to every city council meeting, actually not city council meeting, but transportation committee meeting, which was at Phoenix City Hall. Went to 2 of them on the subject and spoke about the subject. Mostly I just spoke against geofencing, which of course it ended up being fully geofenced anyway, but lots of spin scooters at that hub. That's one I used to serve at all the time. I just basically spoke out against it, saying that it really limited its usefulness, but apparently there's a lot of NIMBYs that live in gentrified neighborhoods just outside of downtown Phoenix that don't want scooters in their neighborhood. So they got what they wanted, unfortunately. On that note, that was another thing I like better about Portland than Phoenix. While I couldn't ride and the only rental scooters that I used while I was in Portland was Lime, I almost gave in and used a Bird, and I did. I don't think I downloaded any other app, but yeah, I almost. There's a spin not parked where it's supposed to be, just in a parking spot. Ooh, and there goes a Waymo self-driving car going down Adams Street. While I this place is kind of neat. Not that I'm probably ever going to go there, but Hanny's is now a kind of a high-end restaurant. And as you see, this is not the entrance they want people to use. Please use our first street entrance. But it's still got the cool colored sidewalk in the front. Used to be a department store back in the heyday of downtown Phoenix, before, in the mid 1900s, before being located downtown was a bad thing, but before the long before the rejuvenation of downtown. So we've got a historic plaque here. Hanny's 1947, placed on the Phoenix Historic Property Register and National Register of Historic Places. Yeah, so it used to be a department store, a pretty upscale department store. Building sat vacant for a long time, and recent years it's been renovated as a high-end restaurant, which I think is great. I'm just happy that there was a historic vehicle. I sure hope that wasn't my rapid bus that just went around the corner. I should be paying attention to the time. Nope, it's 5:57. I'm trying to get on the 6:11 p.m. bus. And of course, yeah, more space wasted by parking lot here. But yeah, it's one of the few historic buildings in this area. As you can see, everything around us is newer. And granted, that looks like it's from the 80s or the 70s, but newer towers. Not a lot of original historic buildings still here, so it's kind of cool to see the Hanny's building here, even if it isn't a department store anymore. And there we got Dunkin' Donuts. I keep saying there's no food options, no cheap fast food options downtown, or very few. Taco Bell Cantina is kind of an oasis in the desert, so to speak. But Dunkin' Donuts is there, but they're closed by the time I get downtown. So walking around downtown so far, I've only seen one bird. Oh, and I was trying to explain. Interesting seeing that Bird is finally, apparently as of today, offering service in downtown Phoenix. Today's the first day I got that pop-up in the app, and I mean, I used the app on Thursday, and I used it this morning. Didn't get the pop-up this morning. I just got it this afternoon. So I was at the City Council Transportation Subcommittee meetings regarding electric scooters in downtown Phoenix. And Phoenix in general. I was hoping it was going to be more than just downtown Phoenix. I was kind of pushing for scooters to be available pretty much everywhere in Phoenix, which is how they are in Portland, by the way. As I was trying to say, they're geofenced. I couldn't take them to where my daughter lived in Beaverton, but anywhere in Portland, I could ride them. In fact, I really wish I had shot a video of me taking the ride, because at one point I rode one from pretty much the center, not quite downtown, but pretty much the center of Portland, and rode the scooter all the way to just about to anyway, I rode it all the way to Columbia Drive, like on the north edge of town. There's a river bridge that I crossed, and I forget the name of the river, but I tried to cross. Ooh, police activity here. That's interesting. You got one cop facing the wrong direction. Anyway, there was a the Amazon is in the industrial area between the big river that runs between the states of Oregon and Washington, and then a smaller tributary which is near Columbia Drive. I think that's the name of the road. And then south of there is all pretty much residential, with of course businesses intermixed. But yeah, I rode all the way across town on side streets. I took quite a few different side streets, mostly taking ones that had signs indicating that they were recommended as bike routes. And it was nice to be able to go such a nice long distance across Portland, as opposed to here in Phoenix. About the most you can go is from 7th Avenue to 7th Street. So yeah, one whopping mile. Makes them not very useful for getting around Phoenix, but useful there. Anyway, I keep getting sidetracked from saying about how I was here from the beginning in Phoenix. So yeah, I did argue against the geofencing, because for me, as somebody who lives in Arcadia, I really like the idea of being able to take rental scooters anywhere in the city. I would like the opportunity to get one, where I live and say ride it to my therapist's office in Midtown. I'd like to be able to catch one in Midtown, grab one in Midtown and ride it here to downtown. I don't ever ride the scooters in downtown Phoenix. I mean, I have on occasion, but generally speaking, I don't ride the scooters in downtown Phoenix because they go such a short distance. It just seems pointless to me. I can, that short of a distance, I can just walk. But anyway, other people do ride them, so I guess it hasn't been a complete waste. In fact, when I was working for Lime and Lime was servicing downtown Phoenix, they said that this was by far their most profitable area, which kind of blew my mind. But I think it just has to do with the fact that there's a bare minimum for how much a ride is. I forget what the rates are, and they've changed and gone up quite a bit since I started doing rental scooters. But it used to be $1. It was $1 to start it, and then 40 cents a minute. Well, if you only rode 2 minutes, that was $1.80 for that ride. But $1 just to unlock it. And I could see where Lime was making more money in Phoenix, where people can't really ride anywhere other than just a few blocks, on that, $1 to start the ride constantly, whereas the scooters just didn't need to be charged all that much because they weren't going far enough to drain the battery, whereas the operating cost would be higher on a scooter where somebody's riding it for 30 minutes. And granted, that's a more expensive ride for the 30-minute ride, but two rides like that, and then a subcontractor like myself would have to be paid to come pick up that scooter and charge it up. Whereas the ones in downtown Phoenix, didn't need to be charged as much. And then they were paying a smaller amount. Now Phoenix has a thing where they want them all off the street by midnight, and then they go back out at like 7 in the morning, which to me is absolutely asinine because that leaves anybody working night jobs with no transportation. It just seems like the city of Phoenix wants people that get off work at midnight or 2 a.m. to have no transportation options other than pricey Uber and Lyft. You almost think they're getting paid kickbacks by Uber and Lyft to not have competition late at night. But anyway, but I'm just kind of doing the math from Lime's point of view. They paid a pretty minimal amount to just simply pick up the scooters at the end of the night and drop them off at Lime headquarters, which by that point in time was at about 40th Street and I-10, which would be good. I mean, if you had I did okay doing it even with the limited capacity of my Benz or my Saturn, because I alternated between the two vehicles. But like for somebody who has a big pickup truck with a trailer, which most of the guys are running, I mean, even if they're only paying, $2.50 or $3 to bring that scooter just and drop it off at the warehouse, $3 times 50 scooters is, certainly enough, a lot of money for half hour's work. And considerably less than they would pay for someone to actually take those scooters home and charge them. So, and then the same thing in the morning. They paid considerably less money for people to pick them up at the shop and drop them off. Anyway, when I was at the meetings, there were 3 companies that were awarded contracts to operate in downtown Phoenix, and it was Lime and Spin and Bird. And then for some reason, Bird ended up never providing service. I believe the reason was that they didn't have geofencing incorporated into their software, which was definitely a requirement for the city of Phoenix. Not only geofencing for where you could ride to, where you couldn't ride outside of the basically 1 square mile of service that's allowed here in downtown Phoenix, but also geofencing to specifically require that when you end your ride, you park in a in a designated scooter parking spot. In other words, the software is supposed to be have enough like geofencing. There needs to be a thing in it that allows somebody to not park here, which to me is stupid. I mean, this is a bus stop. I should be able to ride a. Hey, what's up, man? I should be able to ride a. That's Garfield. I should be able to ride the scooter to right here at the bus stop and park it in a way that's not blocking the sidewalk. But instead, I have to park it here in the little white box that used to have a marker in the middle of it with a reflective scooter logo on it. So yeah, apparently by the launch time, Bird was unable to get that incorporated into their software, but apparently they got it worked out today. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I didn't even realize that my friend and coworker Garfield was here, so I think I'm gonna go chat with him. And next to him, that was the woman I've been calling Cruella de Vil. I feel Cruella. Oh, look, there's that CRX that drove by me one time when I was here. Apparently, this guy's regular commute. Oh man, I miss all my cars, but even more than I miss my Saturn, I miss my red CRX. It looked just about like that. A little rough, but a badass little car. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the other day when I was sprinting trying to get on the bus, that woman was actually really, really friendly to me and chatted with me a bit about it. So, kind of cool to be calling her that, but the resemblance is definitely there.